When George Washington set up his cabinet, two prominent figures with vastly different views on the new Constitution arose. Alexander Hamilton formed the Federalists. They believed in a strong central government with tight control over the economy. They believed that the Constitution had unexpressed rights subject to interpretation that gave the federal government the ability to adopt more powers. Though born a poor bastard child, Hamilton grew up to be an aristocrat who believed that the common man was not capable of governing himself. In following these beliefs, he suggested that the Senate and President should serve for life.
Whom would you have representing us in government? Not the rich, not the wise, not the learned? Would you go to some ditch by the highway and pick up the thieves, the poor, and the lame to lead us? Yes, we need an aristocracy to be running our government, an aristocracy of intelligence, integrity, and experience.
Thomas Jefferson was appalled by these beliefs and accused Hamilton of being a monarchist. He feared that the Federalists would return the new country to a place where the common man had no voice.
I'm not part of that debased squadron plotting to change our republic back into a monarchy. I am not a pimp whose stock dealers have corrupted Congress.
Jefferson formed the Democratic Republicans. They believed in minimal taxation from a limited government. Jefferson's Republicans believed in small government with a stricter interpretation of the Constitution. As expressed in the 10th Amendment, they believed that control should rest with the state and local governments. There was the best place to hear the voice and to obey the will of the common man. Most people believe the Federalist Party died out in the 1800s after the passing of Alexander Hamilton. So how then did two parties that proclaim allegiance to Jefferson and whose name get their roots from his Democratic Republicans become Federalists? For the Democrats, it was a slow evolution that started with Andrew Jackson, but took major steps to federalizing control and stealing state rights during Johnson's Great Society. The common theme with the Democrats is that big government will protect you from the evils of capitalism.
I was a Democrat at that time. And I left the party eventually because I could no longer follow the turn in the Democratic leadership that took us down an entirely different path, a path of centralizing authority in the federal government, lacking trust in the American people.
The Republicans made their major shift under Donald Trump, an aristocrat that, like Hamilton, expressed that it took a man of money to govern the lower classes. His bullying tactics and fights with local government over policy and control reflect the basic Federalist tenet that big government is what is best for the common man. And like the Democrats, he expanded the size and control of the federal government to the tune of $800 billion before the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. Concern grew that left unchecked, his policies of reduced taxation followed by increased spending would result in the double-digit inflation found during the Carter administration. Under Trump, the Republicans' common theme is that only his big government can protect you from the evils of socialism. Sound familiar? Both modern political parties have followed Federalist principles and built a bigger, stronger centralized government with more and more control over the states, and proclaiming that they know how to best protect the common man from himself. And with two parties unwilling to compromise and do what is best for the nation, we are left with what Jefferson feared the most: presidents that rule by royal decree through the executive order.